Hello everyone, and welcome along to Upper Lusatia Part 9, where I've been looking at the weather forecast and I'm not happy. It's raining a lot, and this year we're going to face the added challenge of all of autumn is rain. So our entire harvest season is going to be filled with not able to harvest because of rain. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Welcome along, Josie and Gil. Josie was going to be joining me in game today, but unfortunately we could not get that to work, which was quite unfortunate. I was really hoping to have her in. I had a tractor set up for the whole shebang, but it wasn't working for us, unfortunately. But hopefully I'll get that sorted, and Josie will be able to come on with me on one of these Upper Lusatia streams very soon. That's the plan, anyway. The plans and the hopes. I need to turn screenshot mode on to make it look all gloriously pretty for everyone. It's looking a bit dull in the rain. I'll make it pretty again, bright colours and all that kind of fun stuff. As for today, what we need to do is we have so much groundwork to do. First of all, in the attempts to get Josie in, I had to remove the Modern Classics DLC and the Platinum expansion. So I unfortunately lost our telehandler, but I've replaced it with this kind of odd looking Merlot. A little Merlot turbo farmer there. It's not the best thing in the world, but it's something. And we also went and got ourselves another tractor. We got a Renault 180.94 turbo. Nice old tractor. Just shy of 180 horsepower, I think. Makes a half decent noise. It's just a little bit different. Something new on the farm. Equipment wise, the other thing we went and done is I'm borrowing a humongous plough, an absolutely enormous plough. Massey, how are you doing, buddy? Welcome along. How's things going for you? I enjoyed your ATS stream earlier. That was good fun. I was lurking through that while I was doing other things, so I didn't chat, but I was watching it. If we just open up our map here, you will notice we have many fields, and all of those fields will need ploughed. Well, not all of them, but quite a lot of them. As you can see, field 1, 2, 3, 22, 23, 21, 10, 5 and 6 all require ploughing. So let's just start off with field 10. This is a huge plough. This really is quite a substantial plough we've got here. This is part of a John Deere pack. So what's everyone been up to today? How's your week going so far and all that kind of exciting stuff? That's quite a hill. No hill will stop me. Yeah, this is a pretty reasonable plough. It looks like a cultivator, but trust me, it's a plough. Yeah, as you see, it's got these wobbly wheels on it, which is good fun. Right, we're not going to use that. We're going to get a hired worker onto that. I feel kind of under pressure with this one today. because we've got so much groundwork to do because we've missed 2 days of spring due to the weather. And now we're having to play catch up. We need to get fields ploughed, we need to get loads of stuff done. It's actually, I've never been stressed with Farming Simulator before, but I am stressed with this one today. It's going to be great fun. I'm actually looking forward to it. Besides running out of gas right next to the gas station on Goldcrest, it been helping farmers out. Awesome stuff, Gil. Uncle Albert can help me. That's what you name your hired worker, is it not, Massey? The other thing I was wondering is, are you by chance free either tonight or tomorrow morning, Massey? There's a couple of things I was going to ask you about slobs and YouTube and things like that. Let's get this onto a hired worker too. Off they pop. What I need to see is I need to go over to... This is kind of difficult to run at this speed, but we need to kind of go over to Field 11 and have a look at the state of it, because it was starting to sprout before winter hit. It's still sprouting. The crops actually survived that. That surprises me. Okay. 5 and 6 are growing as well. What are they? We've got wheat and barley. Field 3's got barley in it as well. Right, we're getting field 1 ploughed just now, so we'll get field 1 and 2 ploughed, we'll get field 10 ploughed. But up here, what have we got? Well, let's see, these are growing. 22 is growing, 23 is not. 22 is canola, we'll put canola in 23 as well. 21 is not. Okay, not a problem. I'll be free about NVC tonight. What's up? It's nothing urgent. It was just about like on your screen overlay, you've got your most recent subscriber for YouTube on there, and I can't figure out how to get that to work. It shows me Twitch, as you can see in the top, most recent follower. It shows me all the Twitch, but it just doesn't work for YouTube for me. And everything I find on it is for Twitch subscribers. What do I need to do? I need to come down here and get the fertilizer spreader. Oh, is this needing serviced? Maintenance required. Okay, I'll have to worry about that another time. But I need to make it, I need to do a tutorial on slobs, but I need to make it interesting for people to understand it and watch. I'm sure you'll do fine with that, Massey. I don't think you'll have a problem with making it interesting and understandable. Slobs can be kind of difficult. Slobs is Streamlabs OBS, Gil. It's the streaming software that Massey and I both use. It's like OBS, but in my opinion better. It's definitely a good streaming software. The best one I've used. I didn't like OBS. I didn't like OBS Studio at all, but I like Streamlabs. Streamlabs is much better. What's our fertilising state on this field? Is that all? Can't be. Can't be all 3. It shouldn't be. It is actually. That saves a bit of time. That's awesome stuff, Massey. Be very much appreciated. I just can't get my head around it. So we have absolutely loads to do today. We've got to get all our fields fertilised, ploughed, cultivated, seeded, fertilised again, and again, and again, hundreds of times. It is definitely easier. Slobs is a lot easier than OBS. OBS is a pain in the backside. absolute pain in the backside for saying they're both basically, well, they run off the same software. I don't know why OBS isn't a bit more like slobs. Now, Josie, are you still in the chat? If you are, we're having withdrawals from we're having withdrawals from your bad jokes. Is it like Restream, or am I thinking the wrong kind of program? Restream is a program. It's like a website based thing that I use that allows me to stream to YouTube and Twitch simultaneously. Although I'm not sure my viewer count is right on Twitch just now. I will just double check. That's definitely not right. Oh, that's a fence. Too busy doing other things. Massey will be lurking. It's good to hear, Massey. Yeah, Restream is it's a website. It's a service that you can use. It's not so much a program, but it's a service that you can use to set up your encoder settings to send it to Restream, and then set up Restream to send it to YouTube and Twitch. It splits your stream, if you will, and allows you to stream to multiple places. Most of the time I find it works quite well with me. Not a problem, Josie. I was just saying, we're all having some serious withdrawals from your bad jokes. Cat issues, I'm not surprised. I have few kind things to say about cats. I mean, I like animals and all, but let's be honest, cats are jerks. Let's head up into this field. No, there's no point in doing anything with that. No point touching it at all. This field, on the other hand, we'll fertilise it, and then we'll cultivate it, and then we'll fertilise it again, and then we'll seed it. So guys, what kind of crops would you like to see me do? We have a few fields available. Some of the fields were pre-planted prior to me getting them, but well, what crops would you like to see? Gil has bad jokes too. Yeah, but your bad jokes are just your bad jokes are just worse, Josie. I was just wondering the difference between slobs and restreams. Oh, not a problem there, Gil. Slobs is the encoder. It's what you actually you require slobs to stream anywhere at all, and Restream just offers a service to split your stream to send it to multiple platforms. It's not even. It doesn't even. You don't have to just do Twitch and YouTube. You can stream to Mixer and Facebook and all sorts. There's a whole list of them. Some I've never even heard of before. But you can split your stream up about 30 times if you really wanted to. I mean, I'd imagine that would come with some serious issues, but it's possible. And the biggest issue with that would be trying to keep up with all the different chats, but it's technically possible. We've got 8 people watching. Come and say hello in the chat. If you're liking the stream, hit that like button, and if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button too. Let's see if we can get another 8 subscribers tonight. I would be very, very happy with that. Doctor, doctor, I can't sleep at night. What shall I roll over and you'll soon drop off. I think your jokes are too good, Massey. Yeah, let me just turn this off while I read this one. Confucius say, man who runs behind car will get exhausted, but man who runs in front of car will get tired. Okay. To be fair, Josie, that was actually a pretty decent one. I quite like that one. Oh, our tractor's broken down. I really need to maintain this. Ron Smith, welcome along. How you doing, buddy? How's your week going so far? Still got a huge pile of snow there. That will have to magically disappear. Why do I not own this field? I feel like I should own this field. This is one of our fields, but how bad is the crop destruction going to be? Too bad. How bad is it going to be with this sprayer? Or fertilizer sprayer, I should say. It doesn't have crop destruction, so I need some of those row crop tires, should I say. Not too bad, Ron. Getting in there. I'm in quite a good mood tonight. Usually I'm not in this much of a good mood. Not sure what the deal is. But it's it makes a change. I was in quite a bad mood yesterday. I was a bit quiet on the voice chat last night with the convoy, but I'm definitely in a better mood today, that's for sure. Why did the chicken get run over? Because he wanted to see his flatmates. That's a good one, Massey. Alright, it's my turn. Oh, Gil's got one. The woman goes to a doctor and says, "Doctor, I need help. I pass gas, and they are silent, and I have no smell." Doctor says, "Okay, take these pills and come back next week." The following week, the woman goes back to the doctor and says, "Doctor, I don't know what pills you gave me, but now my gas is still silent and now it has a smell." Doctor says, "Now that we have your sinuses cleared, let's work on your hearing." That's a good one. Right, it's my turn. Why should you take a pencil to bed? So you can draw the curtains. Don't worry, I am hanging my head in shame. I'm going to presume that this needs maintenance as well. Oh dear. All our tractors are going to need maintenance. We can't really afford to do that. Let's see if I can get row crop tires on the MB track. Where's that trailer facing? The other way. It needs to move. When is a car not a car? I have no idea, Josie. See this trailer pulled out of the way, or into the side of the building. Either works for me. And it turns into a driveway. Oh, very good, Josie. Keep practicing. I'll think about it. Right, let's repair it, customize it. Narrow tires. Oh look, we can get it in puke yellow, puke beige, or puke yellowy beige. Okay, I've got another joke, guys. What did the tie say to the hat? Well, this thing looks weird. Yeah, what did the tie say to the hat? It said, "You go ahead, I'll hang around." That was a good one, was it not? No? I thought it was funny for a second. Yeah, I'm just kidding, that was terrible. I'm gonna hang my head in shame and hide in a corner and just not face the world anymore. Until I learn to tell bad jokes like Josie does. Right, now we shouldn't get any crop destruction, or, if anything, minimal crop destruction. Much better, we now have a specific machine for spraying. What kind of car does Yoda drive? A Toyota. Oh, dearie dear. No Savage, no Snow. I sped time up because there is absolutely nothing to do in the snow except clear snow, and frankly I'm sick of the sight of snow. And yeah, it's gone. Well, most of it. There's still a pile of it in the farm where I piled up like 3 trailerfuls. Where's the drum noise for Ghosted Wolf? Me having some internet issues today, but it's all good. How's the stream looking, guys? Hopefully it's looking all right. I never noticed that little river there. Field 5. There's going to be 2 passes on this spreader. So what's everyone got planned for the rest of the week? It's been pretty horrible weather where I am, but I think it's actually supposed to get worse as well. But I hear that it's actually been good weather elsewhere. I hear that it's been good weather in England. So what's everyone got planned? I'm just going for the achievement to help each farmer at least once. That is a good achievement. I don't even think I have that achievement yet, actually. I've got 13 of the achievements, but I don't think that's one of them. I think I get impatient with that one because I don't like working for other people because I don't get enough money for it. Okay, let's see here. What is left to do? Let's turn off the need ploughing. We've got field 10 to do. Field 2, 3 and 4 could be done, I guess. Don't know any of these bigger fields down here. Okay, let's go and get some of these. Drinking and farming for me, that sounds like a good combination. Not sure which one I'd rather do. This was a bad idea. Stream keeps buffering on my end. That's not ideal. Let me just check that a second. My bitrate is a little bit lower than usual, unfortunately. I do apologise about that. See if I can do anything to help it. Let's put it up a little bit. Hopefully that fixes it. I do apologise about that, Ron. $100 grand for harvesting the crops. What field was that? Whatever field that is, gonna have to do it. What did the car say when it crashed? That's really unfortunate. Oh, I think that one might be in for being bad joke of the night. It just might possibly be the bad joke of the night. That's good to hear, Gil. I like it when people share their love. YouTube is a community, and I like to see a bit of community spirit. It is nice to see. I do believe Field 31 is that on? That's on Goldcrest Valley, isn't it? Field 31. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but I'm actually going to have a look at that. I will have a look at that, because that could come in handy when Goldcrest Farm comes back, which at this point I'm still working on, but I'm not 100% sure that Goldcrest Farm will actually make it back as a reoccurring series, given that we're now only I think 42 days away from or 41 days away from FS19. And as soon as FS19 is installed on my Steam library, I will be streaming it straight away. It'll probably be the middle of the night, probably like 12 o'clock at night for me or something like that, but I will be streaming that immediately once that lands for probably many hours. Let's see. We'll get this. We'll continue on with this field, and in the meantime, got another joke for you guys. What washes up on tiny beaches? Microwaves. I may win the bad joke of the stream tonight. That's what I'm going for. Josie normally wins it, but I'm hoping that I get it this time. I'm not really keeping a tab on my workers. After this field, I'll sort the ploughers. Actually, just realised I've got 2 John Deere ploughs on 2 John Deeres. Never actually noticed that. Hello Shanti, welcome to the stream. How's your week gone? Hopefully it's been a good one, and hopefully Gil's been not too bad for you. Hopefully I pronounced your name right there. That's quite a nice name. I've never heard that name before. It's quite a nice name. Oh, I don't own that field actually. I was going to spray that field. My mistake. Oh, this is the field I wanted, but I couldn't afford it. That's right. Right, let's sort these ploughs out. That's good to hear, Gil. Oh, where is this John Deere? Where is it? In a bush. Why it's in a bush, I don't know. Even still, it's there. Let's make this plough do things it's not supposed to. Like, turn around on the spot. 12 people watching, guys. Come and say hello in the chat. If you're enjoying the stream, hit that like button. It does help out an awful lot. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button too. Let's see if we can make it to 400 subscribers tonight. That would be absolutely amazing. Shantae says to tell everybody hi. Happy birthday last week, Shantae. Hopefully it was a good one. Oh, I think I missed a bit there. Oh no, I didn't. The plough landed quicker than it looked like it landed. Turned 26 on October the 3rd. Awesome stuff. That's the same age as me. How did the man kill his car? Knowing that it's a joke, I'm not going to answer. If it was literal, I could come up with many, many ways that men have killed their cars. Who are you asking there, Savage? He throttled it. Oh dear, that's got to be the worst one. That you might get the crown for that one, Josie. Not sure I can compete with that. Okay, I've got one. Did you hear about the painter who was hospitalised? The doctor said it was because of too many strokes. Yeah, I'm not even going to laugh at that one. That was terrible. But is it bad enough to win bad joke of the stream? How old are you, Savage? Let's see if we can find out who is the oldest and who is the youngest person on the stream. Ron is 18. What is a skeleton's favourite car? I'm sure I want to answer that one. A Zamboni. Welcome along, that Savage Gamer not to. I'm getting better at bad jokes. I would hope so. Why did the robber take a bath? Because he wanted to make a clean getaway. Let's see, where are we? We need to get that cedar on the go real soon. That's Savage Gamer. I'm the youngest. How old are you? I'm 26 myself. Although sometimes I feel like I'm 62. Sometimes I feel like I'm 2. Depends on the mood I'm in. We've got 10 people watching. Come and say hello, everybody. Josie's the only one that bites here, and she's not done that in a little while. Very, very good, Josie. I don't always act 12. Sometimes I act 11. You've had your jabs, but that's good to hear. Let's not say how old we feel. I actually genuinely feel very old. I mean, I'm 26 and I struggle to pick myself up off the floor nowadays, which is kind of concerning. And sometimes you act too. I will not make a comeback to that. This will be back out today, so we're just gonna kind of put it out of the way for a little while. See you after, Savage Gamer. Thanks for coming along. I didn't say that was a bad thing. When I'm sick, I'm a 2-year-old. When it's been a long day, I feel like I need a coffin. I know those feelings. Although when I get the sniffles, I don't get the sniffles. I get man flu, and we all know how horrifically you know, horrible those are. Yeah. Word for it. There's man flu is the #1 killer of men. Let's just say that. Okay, let's get on with a little bit of cultivating. We'll do some of this ourselves. We've been hiring a lot of work out, and we've been spreading. So let's change things up a little bit. Get some cultivating on the go. Stick on cruise control while I grab a drink. Watch me crash before I get back. So guys, what game are you most looking to watch tomorrow? I plan on streaming a couple of different games tomorrow. I plan on having 2 separate streams, one earlier on in the day and another one later on at night. So what games would you guys like to see? There's games I've never streamed before, and there's games I have streamed before. So I've got like on the cards of games to play. I have World of Warcraft. It's sitting there ready to stream effectively, and I have all the usual ones. I got some Farming Simulator. I could always jump on a different map in Farming Simulator, or it's Car Mechanic Simulator. There's Kenshi, Ark, and there's also, I've got other games like Transport Fever that I think would make quite an interesting stream. I'm making a mess of this food. So what would you guys most like to see tomorrow? I even have Euro Truck Simulator. I could stream Euro Truck Simulator multiplayer. I'm not sure if any of the Swamp Donkeys are on tomorrow, but I could jump on some multiplayer on that. You can watch me tip the truck several times. Bad joke of the day. What's the difference between a fish and a car? You can tune a car, but you can't tune a fish. Ouch. That one's pretty bad, actually. Why did the robber take a bath? Actually, I've done that one. I've said that one. I said that one earlier. That one's about the clean getaway. What did the blanket say to the bed? Don't worry, I've got you covered. See, me and Josie, we like to tell each other jokes. I tell Josie a joke every single night before I go to bed. I tell her good night, and then I tell her I'll see her in the morning. And that's the joke. I can't remember the last time I actually seen a morning. Yeah, that's quite a difficult joke to top, that one, Josie. You kind of set the bar ridiculously low on that one. Helper G has completed their task. I don't know which one that is. It's the tracked John Deere again. 10 people watching, come and say hello in the chat. Let your voices be heard. We're a friendly bunch around here, or at least we try to be. Come in the chat and tell me your best, worst joke. See if we can top Josie's tuna joke. This field is taking ages to cultivate. Even with this relatively big and quick plough. Cultivator, I should say, not plough. This thing cultivates. We'll get this done, we'll get a hired worker on this one in field 10. We'll sort the plough out. Probably both of them by that time. And we'll spray this field again, and then we'll just straight up get the hired worker in here. So we will. That's the plan. I've not checked the animals. Let's see. The cows need grass, and the sheep only have 5% cleanliness. So they do need a bit of work. That's fine. Our greenhouses are suffering significantly. They're all empty of water and manure, so they're not earning us any money, which is no good. We can't have that. Oh, I turned too tight there. Wasting working width doing that. So, what maps is everyone been playing on FS17? What's your favourite maps? And does anyone have a map that they want to see me do a live stream of? I'm more than happy to stream some different content. I'll stream what you guys want to watch, within reason. It's a family show. I keep it PG and all that. Almost done here. I love this cultivator. This cultivator is so quick. What's a good thing about Fords? Yeah, nothing. They come out of the factory with the problem circled. That's true. Gold Crest edit by Steve for the map. Not a problem. If I don't, well, I know I don't have that one, but if you send me a link to the download for that one, I will most certainly have a look at that one. I've had a few Fords. Blown one of them up, set one of them on fire, rolled one of them, and completely wrote one off by a very spectacular crash across a dual carriageway that involved me removing a giveaway sign, a bollard, and then launching the car through the air into the ditch. It was good fun. I enjoyed it. I don't think I'll be getting a Ford again, to be honest. I might have crashed them. Was a golf ball different from a Chevy? I have no idea. The Chevy I had was terrible, so... You can drive a golf ball 200 yards. The Chevy I had, you couldn't drive 200 yards without the exhaust falling off. But to be fair, that wasn't the car's problem. That was because I stupidly asked my brother to put the exhaust on, and he's a complete and utter idiot, so... There is that. The kind of idiot that tries to headbutt a burning log and then wonders why it's hot. It's not my favourite person in the world, I'll be honest. Sibling rivalry and all that. I haven't spoken to him in well over a year now, actually. Why did Ford make a new heated tailgate? So that hillbillies' backsides don't get cold? So your hands stay warm when you're pushing it back home in winter? Good bit of truck hate going on tonight. This is a question for Gil and Josie. I'm curious. Do you get Ford Transits in America? I'd imagine it'd have a different name, but Ford Vans. Like... Where is it? Like this one. Do you get them in America? Always wondered that, because I know you get what I know as Mercedes Sprinters, but it's Dodge over there. Some kind of Dodge van or a Chrysler or something like that, but it's not Mercedes. But for me that, you know, it is a Mercedes, it's just not a Mercedes. Are they called Ford Transits? I like Ford Transits. Well, I like vans, not necessarily Ford Transits. They're a bit... You do it in Georgia. I suppose you'd need them in Georgia to ferry all the people going on all these reality shows around. I'm not sure if anyone else has noticed this. If you watch an American reality show, there's always like... You're never far away from someone from Georgia. There's normally at least one in every show. It's like a requirement. You can't have a reality show without someone from Georgia there. Right, let's run away quickly from that tractor. Let's go and jump in our new Renault tractor. Let's take this puppy out for a spin. see what this thing can do. Oh, wee babby horn. You should do a series using Goldcrest Edit by... yeah, I was saying that if you send me a link to that one, because I've not seen a download for that one before. If you send me a link to that, I will, I'll have a look at it, and we'll at very least do a feature live stream on it. I don't know if we can really do another series as such, but I'll have a look. Oh. Something tells me this tractor's not got the power. No, it's not. That's a shame. That means this tractor's absolutely useless to us. I suppose we can... No, we can't even really use it for spreading. We use it as a little farm run around, I think. I think that's what we could do. We could use it for like sorting out the water trailer and that kind of jazz. We don't have any more tractors on the farm. Everything's out working. Awesome stuff, Gil. I'll have a look at that. I'll probably have a look at that tomorrow morning. That we need. That's working away. This one's supposedly finished. I'll just tidy up the horrendous mess that hired workers leave. Fords where I grew up didn't go by transit. They were like E350 or Econoline. By the way, that horn sounds like a pissed off Prius. I agree. My bike horn sounds more macho than that. Fords where I grew up were... Alright, here's a car-related joke for you. What sound does a Prius make when it goes past? I'm gay. I'm not sure if that will work over a microphone, but that's a joke I heard from my old apprentice. I like GMC trucks. I actually kind of like the that Ford Velociraptor. The done-up Ford Ranger. And a great big turbocharger strapped to a supercharger rocket ship thing that probably runs on baby seals and penguins instead of fuel. How do you tell if a mid-engined Ferrari is warmed up? It's on fire. That's true. I hate the sound of Ferraris. Ferraris and Lamborghinis, they sound like somebody swinging a cat by its tail. A horrific sound they make. Is that where the joke comes from? I don't know where the joke came from. I heard it from a guy who used to work for me at the garage. Not a fan of that Jeff Dunham. He used to be funny. I used to quite like his jokes, but I just don't find him that funny anymore. Field 17 doesn't need ploughed, it'll need cultivated. Okay, field 23 is where we're heading next. We'll go there with the we'll go there with the other John Deere. What do you call a Chevy with brakes? Customized. So what was everyone's first ever car? I don't mean like a car that was like given to them when they were a kid or anything like that. I mean, what was the first car that people had after passing their driver's test? My first ever car was a little Fiat Cinquecento. A horrible little thing, 900cc engine. 2 doors, 4 seats, boot the size of back pocket on your jeans. But for a little car it had all sorts of extras. It had electric sunroof and electric seats and all sorts of stuff. And I think the CD player had more power than the car, but you know, otherwise it had all sorts of stuff. I was quite happy with that for my first car. Why don't Chevys sustain much damage in front end collisions? The tow truck takes most of the impact. I'm still doing my driving test. How many lessons have you had, Ron? Pass the driver's test. Blazer, that's a Chevy, I believe. Chevy Blazer? I think. Might be wrong. I'm sure I'll be corrected. This is where Josie's going to make us all feel like we've been... Yeah. See? There's Josie coming in and making us all jealous with a short bed Chevy truck. Not fair. Now my next question would be, out of all the cars that people have driven, or let me rephrase that, out of all the cars that everyone who has driven, everyone who has driven a vehicle, struggling to speak tonight, everyone who's had a car, what has been the favourite car you've ever owned, and why? I've done 8 tests so far. 8 tests or 8 lessons, Ron? My first official vehicle I drove was a Nissan pickup truck when I was 7. The first official vehicle I drove would have been a Rover 214 SRI. An old brick of a motor. That would have been about 4. My dad let me do the steering and then he never let me drive it again because I nearly drove off a bridge. Massey's back. Welcome back, buddy. A 97 Honda Prelude because it was set up for street racing. I can't say anything negative about that. I'm not the biggest Honda fan in the world, if I'm being honest. I got my driver's test on Friday. Awesome stuff. That's well, good luck with that. Massey, tell everyone what you were doing the other day. I think it was it yesterday? Down at the farm. This is where Massey's going to make us all feel jealous about the vehicle that he was in the other day. So, what gets wet and dries quick? Water? I don't know. That's a really bad answer. Water doesn't dry. I have no idea, Massey. Pass on that one. A towel. That's a good one. That Prelude was 2 inches off the ground, DC Sports header, Magnaflow performance exhaust and Cobra lock wheels. Not bad, Gil. My favourite toy I owned was a 1980 Dodge Ram Charger. It had a removable hardtop. That sounds like it would be good fun. My favourite car, I've had literally hundreds of cars. I think for me it comes down to one of 3 for completely different reasons. The car I have just now, my BMW, it's a 3 Series BMW from 2000. And I like it because it's got a soul, it's got kind of a story to tell. You know, it's got some battle marks on it, it's not in perfect shape, but you feel connected to that car when you drive it, more so than you do with any other car. It also gives you the impression that if you push your luck with it, it's going to quite happily rip your face off. Another one quite possibly would be, I had a Daihatsu Sport Track 4-seater raised tiny little Jeep with a removable hardtop on it. Tiny little thing. I mean, I hit a curb in this thing and ended up pointing straight up on its nose, and that was me banned from Massey Car Park for the best part of 2 years. But that thing, I mean, it was falling to bits, but I got so much like fun with that little Jeep. I mean, I lifted the carpet in it one day and like more of the floor came up with the carpet than actually stayed on the Jeep. The thing was completely rotten. But I kept it for 2 years as a non-runner because I just couldn't face getting rid of it. And the other one would maybe be I had a Saab 9.3 hot aerial. The 2-litre turbo, 250 horsepower. The thing went clean off the clock. I'm guessing that it went about 180 mile an hour. That thing was crazy fast. It had 19-inch ultra low profile tires on it, and it was just awesome. It was so fast. I kicked it side on at 150 mile an hour and scared the living Jesus out of my passenger. That was a fun car. Full stainless steel exhaust, Brentner turbo. It was just epic, and it made this really nice whistle as well. I did like it. And it had a recirculating valve rather than a dump valve on it, so it didn't make that. I find those vent to atmosphere dump valves very annoying. I find them very irritating. But this had a recirculating valve, so I didn't have to put up with that kind of annoying sound. And it meant I was always in turbo range as well. It was a great car. Lovely red colour as well. I loved Lincoln Logs. I have no idea what those are. I'm not that old. Imaginations, what's that? I have no idea what that is. Never heard of that word before. I spend a lot of money on gaming, so I don't have to think of an imagination. I don't need an imagination. I pay for other people's imagination. I can pop up on my screen. Yeah, Lego was alright. I mean, the good thing about Lego is if you keep it from a child into an adult, and you get to that age where it's kind of not appropriate to play with Lego anymore, you can always just like scatter it along your hall in case anyone breaks in. Because I tell you something, not a single burglar will ever walk over a Lego. No one will. I would sooner walk over burning coals than I will Lego. There. I kind of got distracted here. I'm supposed to be spreading this field so I can get some seeds in it. Back in the 80s, Legos didn't have instructions for anything. You just got a box of Legos and built whatever came to mind. I had Legos when I was little. Never really built anything particularly great with them. I had Legos. I think the toy that I was known to play with the most would have been Hot Wheels. I had a lot of Hot Wheels. As I'm sure Josie remembers, I used to go out into the garden and we would dig holes to like, because we had this little whole town thing set up for the Hot Wheels, and we dug a hole for a quarry and all that, and Josie fell in it one day, and my oldest brother got in quite serious trouble for that. Those were the days. I like Lego and Playmobil. I remember Playmobil. I don't think I ever had Playmobil, but I remember the adverts and things when I was growing up. Nowadays the the go-to kids toy is like slime or those annoying as anything LOL surprises. I hate those things with a passion. But my daughter absolutely loves them. Nothing worse than an LOL surprise. There's nothing surprising about it, you know what's in it. It's just an excuse for kids to make a mess. We made mud pies as kids. That would have been fun. Our Mississippi mud pie would have been better. You fed your brother one. Playmobil is a brand of toys. Kind of similar to Lego in a sense that there was interchangeable parts, but you got like you got like little cars and you could change the people out, and it was like a Lego inspired children's toy that you didn't necessarily build yourself. Meccano, I remember Meccano. I don't know why that's not still on the go. That was a really, really good toy. Nerf guns were good, yeah. I was never allowed them for some reason. I have no idea why. We didn't have Nerf guns as a kid, we had BB guns and 22 Daisy rifles. Well, funnily enough, I was never allowed a Nerf gun as a kid, and when I became an adult I went and got myself 4 air rifles. Yeah, four air rifles and an air pistol that got taken off me because it was technically a replica of a 9mm. I mean, I bought it orange painted it black, I thought it looked good, but the authorities disagreed. Compound bows. I'd love a compound bow, but I'm pretty sure I'd either end up in jail or hospital with one of them within 5 minutes. You know what we really need? We really need to lease another cedar. Where are the cedars? Sewing machines. I had a BB gun I used to shoot my little sister. That's not very nice, Massey. Yeah, the rifles I had, my favourite rifle was a Hassan Model 7. A Springer rifle. It was pretty decent. Let's see. Working with the 12 meters, 270 horsepower. Don't really have enough. You know what? Let's lease it. It's only 10 grand to lease. We'll take that. I'm gonna need to get a hold of another tractor too. I don't want another John Deere. I've got 2 John Deeres on the farm. I don't need another one. I've got a Massey on the farm. What kind of tractor should we get? I've never used this tractor. 413 horsepower, I'll take that. Let's go for a green one. Ooh, crawler track. Well, I don't know. Let's go for that one. It looks the coolest. Airsoft sounds cool. Airsoft is good fun. Is people could just get a bit touchy with it, and if you don't follow the rules of engagement and all this kind of jazz, people get real touchy real quick about it, and it's just kind of irritating. Oh, this is not a bad looking tractor. Not 100% sold on the crawler tracks, but what's the inside look like? Ooh, interactive control. What does this do? Look at that. That's just the armrests and all sorts. What's that? What about this one? High round. Alright, the beacons. We're gonna raise the beacons. I like playing with interactive control. Speaking of interactive control, actually, I'll quickly jump back over to the truck that Molly loves. I found this. Don't know if you guys know about this. You go into the cab, use interactive control on this button, it raises the gate at the back. I've been looking for a way to raise that for ages, but yeah. What did the toilet say to the other toilet? You look flushed. Oh, my time favourite item I ever owned was a tackle box and a fishing pole. All sorts of fish. I don't like styre. I want to go to the deep sea. I'm not a fan of styre either, to be honest. It's just we're only leasing it. It'll go back today. I've never used it before. But that colour scheme, like the silver and the green, kind of works. Let's just plant some random crop. I've never been fishing. Not my cup of tea, I don't think. I'm way too impatient for fishing. I get bored of that within seconds. I could reverse the truck. I could definitely do that. Because it's actually in the way anyway. I'm totally not doing this just to wind Molly up. And yes, Gil, I've never been fishing. Don't blame me, blame Massey, he requested that. I haven't and I don't like it. I don't blame you, Ron. I think I'd get really bored of fishing really quickly. It's not the kind of thing I enjoy doing. Oh, there's a new hashtag, everyone. I'll add it in chat, just give me 2 seconds, and I will put the hashtag in chat so you can actually see it. There's the new hashtag up in the chat. Of course, I'm saying this like a good bit after I actually did it, but there you go. Let's see. Oh dear God, fishing is the best. No technology, just you nature relaxing while fishing. I love fishing. It's because you know I would outfish your ghosted wolf. Oh no, we don't need to save the bacon. We need to eat the bacon. Eat the bacon, save the beacons. Some beacons I like, some I don't. I like the orange ones. I'm not the biggest fan of the blue ones though. I've had issues with the blue ones in the past. For some reason, almost every time I'm out in the car, there's these people with fancy decorated cars and blue flashy lights on the top. They like to follow me. Don't know what that's all about. It's very distracting when you're trying to concentrate on driving. You gotta save the bacon before you eat it. But no, you gotta send it to the slaughterhouse. Or straight into the freezer. I'm not that picky. From farm to field in 20 steps. And I mean like literal steps, not like production stages. Unless it's well done, you can just drool thinking about the hog cooking on the ground. I can't argue with that one. I never speed Massey. Just ask Josie. I am always religiously within the speed limit when I leave the street. Never speed. Never pass the speed limit in my life. Not once. Would never do such a thing. I'm not that irresponsible. Why wouldn't the shrimp share his treasure? Because he's shellfish. Oh dear, indeed. Sorry officer, I was only speeding because I need a poo. Hashtag GW is a lead foot. Nonsense. Although it was really funny that time that I had that race with the Audi RS4 and beat him in a people carrier. That was amusing. That made my day. So he was in this done up Audi thinking he was all that, and he got I beat him off the mark, and then he couldn't pass me. And I was driving a 7-seater. That was funny. I could barely contain my enjoyment. I think I cracked a grin that day. I had 7 speeding tickets for doing 110 in a 70 or 120 in a 60, and passing a cop that couldn't catch you is always funny. Isn't it just? I've done that once or twice. The problem over here is there's very few places that you can't really outrun the cops, because if they can't catch you, they'll just radio in for a faster police car to catch you. And my local police force, this is 100% genuine. I'll actually put the link to the news article up on Discord about this. The local police interceptors for Strathclyde Police have a McLaren MP 12/1 or something like that, some great big like 260 mile an hour McLaren. There's no way anyone's getting away from that thing. And I quite regularly pass that thing. It's very specific part of the M74, and it's always there because it's in like a nice little hidden bit. If you've never driven that road before, you'd bomb it down that road and not think, you don't think about it twice, and then next thing you know you've got a McLaren chasing you down. Don't drive like Giller Ghosted Wolf. It's not really driving what we do, it's kind of like sensible racing. I mean, for a while with my racing, I actually got bored of people not racing me and started like racing like my best times from destinations and things like that. What lies at the bottom of the ocean and twitches? No idea. Flying at low altitudes. A nervous wreck. Yeah, I don't care if the cop's got a fast car or not, I'm still going to floor it. I have done that a couple of times. I was telling Josie the other day about I was actually in the Ford that I decided would fly into the ditch. I used to have horses, and the horse field was about 30 miles away from where I lived, so I was driving home, and it was like 11 o'clock at night, 11, half 11 at night or something like that. The roads were quiet, and I was following my pal. My pal had a BMW 1 Series, 170 horsepower, and I had a Ford Mondeo that was modified quite extensively. It was a turbo diesel. It was alright, and I was getting bored, so I was coming up to roundabouts, and I was like, I was doing the Scandinavian flick and flicking the back end of the car out. I did that at a roundabout as a police car came onto the roundabout. That was a funny one. Waiting until he followed me. Well, he was following me for quite a while, but about 10 miles up the road, I went around the corner and he lost sight of me, and I overtook my pal. He was not happy about that. I ended up going along the road at about 140 miles an hour that day. Yeah, it's no fun when nobody races. You end up like having imaginary races. What do you call a sleeping bull? I have no idea. A bulldozer. Oh, that one might win. That one might win worst joke of the day. Yeah, you just start having like imaginary races. Like, you know how long it usually takes you to get to a place, so you try and work out how much time you can take off it. Let's see here, if I... not that one. Let's have a look at what fields still need cultivated. How's half this? Alright, okay, never mind. It's cultivated, that one's being planted. Actually, this field 17 needs cultivated. I'm going to gold. I'm gonna have to get you a crown or something, Josie. Eight people watching. Come and say hello in the chat. We're having a good laugh tonight. Come in the chat and give us your best joke. And this is an interactive series as well, so if there's anything specific that you would like to see, then let me know in the chat while I'm live, or if I'm not live, you can hit me up on Discord. Be right back. Not a problem, Ron. I'll see you when you get back. And my latest thing is racing the sat nav. I like to race the sat nav nowadays. Most people see a time of arrival. I see time to beat. That you are 15 minutes from your destination. I'll be the judge of that. Alright, like, I had to meet my landlord the other day, and he said, "Oh, it'll take about half an hour to get to where I was meeting him," and I'm like, "Not long. It's 5 minutes. Easy 5 minutes." I did make a 4-hour drive in 2.5 hours. That's not bad. That's a good bit of time off, actually. I think the fastest long distance drive I did was actually at the time I was still with my ex-wife, and there was issues with, you know, there was family issues happening. So my ex-wife was staying with Josie at the time, and I was living on my own, and I drove 360 miles in, I think it was about an hour and 45. Unsurprisingly, the car I did that in died about a week later. I mean, the thing was absolutely knackered. I had it in 5th gear, bouncing off the rev limiter going along the road, maxed out completely. It was sitting there revving its unmentionables off. But that was because I got a phone call from Josie saying that they were taking my ex-wife into hospital, and I didn't know why or what was happening or anything like that, so I had to get from Glasgow all the way up to the north of Scotland as quickly as possible. And I got there as my ex-wife was actually being taken into a treatment room, so I did not bad, but the car didn't last after that. That killed that car. Nothing makes you drive quicker than needing to go to a hospital. Forget the whole drive it like you stole it. Drive it like you're on the way to accident and emergency. You do that in your races, no one will ever beat you. My daughter was passing away. I made the drive from one side of the city to the other in less than 50 minutes, and it was almost an hour drive. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. It's the emergencies that really make the inner racer come out. That's a really unfortunate thing to have to experience, but at the same time it's kind of noteworthy to know that you're actually able to drive that fast. You know, when caution goes to the wind and you just go for it, and you surprise yourself sometimes. That's it's a really awful thing to have to experience. Welcome back, Ron. It's an unimaginable thing that you must have went through with that kill. I genuinely wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. I'm quite a vindictive person. I would wish quite horrific things on my worst enemies. As Josie knows, Josie's seen me in a bad mood. It's good to have you back, Ron. So what's everyone's plans for the rest of the day? Oh, where's everyone based? I know that Gil, you're 6 hours behind, so this is like early afternoon for you just now. It is 10:30 at night for me. So where's everyone at, and where and what is what's everyone doing? Yeah, I'm the sweetest person you'll ever meet. No, I try and not be a particularly bad person. I used to be a kind of a horrific person. I was not a person I enjoyed being, so I make a conscious effort to try and be a better person nowadays. 11:28 in Gibraltar. Your day's only just begun. I'm normally not even up by 11:28. Or is that 11:28 PM? 4:30 for me in Oklahoma. Just promise me that if you ever come over here, do not come to Oklahoma. I can honestly say I don't think I'll ever actually go to America. I've been through LAX once. 11:28 PM. That's not too bad though. PM. That's so. How's your day been in that case then, Ron? I've been through LAX once. I was on a flight back from New Zealand. I was at my sister's wedding in New Zealand and stopped at LAX for the plane to refuel, and I have some issues with America in general. I mean, not like actual issues. It's probably a really nice place. I wouldn't mind going to Alaska. That looks like a really nice place. I think I'd like Alaska. But it frustrates me. I mean, there's areas of America that is frequently hit by tornadoes and all sorts of extreme weather conditions, and yet you seem to build your houses out of cardboard. You build like an entire town in a week. You know, wooden houses and things like this, and you know, a little bit of wind and the house is gone. Everyone has to run to like the brick houses. I find that frustrating. Also, this is mainly because of where the roads that I learned to drive on. I learned to drive on Scottish country roads, single track roads and things like that. The blind corners and camber and things like that were all part of, you know, normal driving. And a lot of America is just like this grid kind of thing. It's just like everything's done in blocks. It just feels kind of lazy the way the infrastructure has been done, if I'm being completely honest. But like I said, they're not like serious issues with the country. I mean, with the size of the country, I can honestly say there is more, you know, it's a definite, there's going to be parts of America that I would absolutely love. But at the same time, there's going to be big parts of America that not so much. Being from Scotland, I'm kind of spoiled. I have mountains and windy roads and lochs, and you know, I'm spoiled. Yeah, there's a lot of straight in America. I'm not a fan of straight. We could do. The Autobahn's in Germany though. And you need to have the car you're driving needs to have a special like MOT on it to drive on the Autobahn as well, to make sure it's safe to do so. But if we do that, I'm definitely taking my BMW out the garage for that. De-restrict it and see how fast it will really go. As given it's a BMW, it's electronically restricted to 155 miles an hour because for some reason German people are very boring and don't like people driving too fast. I've been to Atlanta in USA. I would rent an R34 Turbo and go up the Autobahn. I have driven an R33 Nismo edition. That was good fun. 480 horsepower, all-wheel drive. I was allowed to drive it once, and then I was told to never drive it again because it wasn't mine, obviously. It was a guy down the street from where I lived. He trades high-performance cars, but this car scared him, and he let me have a shot of it. And he got out of the car, and he was as white as a ghost. I mean, his hands were stiff from holding on to the door card, and he was scared to drive the car, and I wasn't, so I drove it as fast as I could. What are straights? Yeah, straight roads. Roads that are just like in a straight line. They're just, I mean, it's good to max a car out on a straight road, but it's more fun to max a car out when you've got to go around a hairpin corner right at the end of it. Now, let's see how our field work is going. We've still got field 2 to do. 23 and 21. Why did I put the seeder away? Don't know why I did that. Too busy just talking about racing. Or a Ferrari F40. You'd be hard pressed to find a Ferrari F40 or a genuine Ferrari F40. They're classics nowadays. It's collectible items. Buy a new Ferrari cheaper than that. I think the only road I know that's really curvy is over in Cali. I like curvy roads. puts a challenge into it. I mean, loads of people can go really fast in a straight line, but to go really fast around a series of twisty corners that have camber on them and other traffic and things like that, it's, yeah, like the Applecross Road. That's a road and a half. That's basically just like a paved path to death. This is literally that is a road that goes down a glen, and it is hairpin corners. You are literally doubling back on yourself all the way down this glen. The only straight sections on it are like maybe 50 yards of straight, and then you're back on yourself again round a very tight hairpin corner with absolutely no guardrails whatsoever. I take a JCB fast track up it. That would kind of be fun. They're a bit top heavy for that road, I think. I'm saying that with a JCB fast track, you wouldn't bother with the corners. You just go straight down the middle of the glen. I would say this: if your roads are curvy, then at least you'll learn how to drift. That's true. Sometimes it's involuntary though. Sometimes you just go into the shop, next thing you know you arrive in a car park backwards. Josie's done that before on her way home from work, actually. In a Subaru. Went to go around the corner, ended up forgetting that it wasn't a roundabout. I've done it many times. I'm borderline reckless in a car, so it's not an uncommon thing for me to have the car pull in some funny shapes. I think the roads over here are good fun. And I've driven on even English roads. I get bored on English roads quite a lot because although they have corners, they don't have the hills. There's not much in the way of like proper hills in England. I mean, obviously there is some. Yeah, it was heavy snow. It was when Josie spun the Subaru. But it was a Subaru Legacy all-wheel drive. It was fine. It bounces. But yeah, English roads just don't have the mountains attached to them. There's hay bales I have in the back here. I didn't think I had any hay bales. Actually, that's what I can do. Let's go and get in the Merlot. Let's clean up after the animals. Where is the Merlot? Other side of this shed. I can squeeze past the Unimog. Well, personally, I learned to drive through winter. So when the snow comes, it doesn't bother me in the slightest. I've been known to drive at, 110 mile an hour in the snow. You know, I'm probably a better driver in winter than I am in summer, to be honest. But it bugs me when, like, I live near to Glasgow now, and Glasgow's really bad for this as well. You get like about an inch of snow and everyone freaks. And it's like, oh no, it's got the tiniest little bit of snow, let's drive at 10 mile an hour. And it bugs the life out of me. Yeah, sliding on dirt roads is cheating though, Gil. I slide my BMW about on tarred roads and it has winter tyres on the back. You have to be very aggressive to do that. Don't worry, Massey, I wasn't going to reverse the truck, I was just looking what was in it. Why is there so much grass here? I'm not a fan of this Merlot, if I'm being completely honest. I will get the proper JCB back. Jeff's here, everyone. Welcome along, Jeff. How are you doing tonight, buddy? We're up to 9 likes, guys. Let's see if we can make it to 15 likes tonight, guys. We've got a secret subscriber as well. Red clay roads in the wet, best fun ever. Never driven on clay. Never driven on clay. Oh, a little bit of an update on the Lone Oak Farm multiplayer server. Me and Josie have been on that today. I've made a bit of an addition to the farm. We now have more storage space for both crops and for tractors. In order to do that, I may have sold Rotten's tractor, but I'm sure that'll be fine. I'm sure he won't mind too much. Also got a silo extension because our farm silo is actually completely full of wheat. I also got a square barrel storage barn. So we now don't need any more straw bales. The straw bales are completely full. And I've went and purchased a what they called a foraging harvester. Our Rostamash foraging harvester. I will buy another one when money is available to do it. So we're going to start making an F-load of silage. So if anyone's interested in helping with that, head on to Discord. If you don't know the password, head on to Discord and I'll pass the password out for the server and how to get onto it, and there's a list of mods that you'll need on there as well. And yeah, feel free to head over there. We've not even started sorting silage yet. We've only just got all the fields harvested. Well, not even all the fields harvested yet. There's still 2 left to do. Now, the cows are moaning quite a bit about everything apart from straw. They need power food again. The sheep could be doing with some hay. I can do that. That will be no problem. Up to 12 likes. That's awesome stuff, guys. Thanks to everyone who has liked this video so far. Only 7 subscribers away from the 400 mark. It'd be absolutely ace if we can make that this week. Oh, we got some more magic bills now. I actually washed your tractor today, Gil. I washed it and parked it in a shed. But now I don't need to park our machines out in the grass. Not long until BO4 comes out. What's BO4? Wait, that's Black Ops, isn't it? That's Call of Duty. Yeah. Apparently cleanliness at 100% is a bad thing. I used to play Call of Duty. I used to play the Modern Warfare series, but I kind of lost interest in it. They kept making the campaign shorter and shorter, and I just felt like they weren't putting the right attention into the game. I mean, the graphics were good, the campaign was good, but there just wasn't enough of a campaign. It felt like they rushed the campaign out. It's like the campaign would start as you'd expect, and then it would very, very quickly end. Jeff just hit 100 subs. Congratulations, Jeff. Can't wait till FS19 comes out. Neither can I, Massey. That the day that FS19 comes out, I will be staying up that night, and literally the second it is installed, I'm going to be live streaming it. As soon as that lands, I'm going to be live streaming FS19. I think you said earlier you were going to do basically the same thing, so that'll be pretty cool. If they have multiplayer working right from the off, we could see if we could throw a multiplayer together. That would be quite interesting if you're up for that. But yeah, I'm very eagerly awaiting FS19. What I'm actually going to do in the run up to FS19, I'm actually going to do a live stream of FS09, FS11, FS13, FS15. You know, there's going to be like in the days leading up to it, it's going to be all of the classics. You know, where Farming Simulator started to where it is now. I'm going to be here watching you play the game. Awesome stuff, Jeff. Thanks for that. I think Massey will be streaming possibly at the same time. If he is, make sure you head over there and check his stream out as well. But it all really depends on when the game is, like what time specifically the game is released. It's all variable. I'm good saying I'll stream as soon as it hits the Steam library. But if it's going to hit like the Steam library at 4 o'clock in the morning, I can't say I'm going to be overly enthusiastic about streaming that. But I probably will, because I'm extremely enthusiastic about playing FS19. I'll be on board. That's good to hear, Jeff. One day I want to buy all the FS games. I don't know if I can find any before 15 though. Before 15 you're going to be hard pressed to find them as a digital download, but you should still be able to find them on disc. I have FS09 and FS11 on disc sitting on the desk next to me. I support awesome streamers. That's what YouTube's all about, Jeff. That's good to hear. I love it when there's a good bit of streamer support going on. I think all streamers should support all other streamers. I don't like this whole, oh, my channel is more important than your channel rubbish that goes on with all these high-end streamers with, you know, their fancy subscription numbers and all that. It's silliness. It's not a good example that these guys are setting. And to be honest, if you really want to think of it in that way, the generation of current high-end subscribers, they're not going to be around forever. And it's down to the likes of Massey and Rotten and myself and the current up-and-coming channels to make sure that the next high-level streamers aren't like that. And hopefully, I'm going to be one of those streamers. Hopefully Massey's going to be one of those streamers, because I like to support other content creators, and Massey definitely likes to support other content creators as well. So, you know, we need people like us and not like what we have now. I mean, there's the odd one out there like Jacksepticeye and Markiplier. They're pals, but if you're not at their level, they just completely ignore you. Which I'm not particularly happy about that, because that's not what YouTube's supposed to be about. I mean, I understand that they've got these millions of people wanting to speak to them and things like that, but you know, they don't. It feels like they don't make enough effort. I mean, Dagwin's another one. He's only sitting there with 500,000 subscribers, but you can't get a hold of Dagwin. He won't speak to anyone. I support people who even have 10 subs. That's exactly the way to do it. We need to support the smaller channels to make the smaller channels the bigger channels, and that's just how it should be, really. That's the best way to lead an example. With an issue with you not knowing how to stream, Gil, I'll certainly be able to help you, but if you're going to use Streamlabs OBS, which I do use, Massey uses that as well, and Massey knows more about it than I do, because I've not always used slobs. I think Massey has. I think Massey's used it longer than I have. So I'm sure Massey wouldn't mind helping at all. But congratulations on 43 subs today, that's good stuff. Oh, 45? Sneak attack. I've had 2 subscribers today. But I didn't stream yesterday, I wasn't really in the mood to stream yesterday, to be honest. And I was going to stream this morning, but I decided that I'd do a bit of multiplayer with Josie instead. We got quite a bit done on the multiplayer server. Well, if anyone is looking to use slobs, I'll certainly help where I can, and I'm sure Massey wouldn't mind helping either. Massey knows more about it than me. There's actually a couple of things I need to ask Massey about, but I know how the basics work. I know how to set up a theme and actually get a stream working and things like that. Yeah, I know the basics, but yeah, I certainly wouldn't mind helping anyone who needs a hand, and I'm pretty sure that Massey wouldn't either. He's a nice guy. I'm gonna see if I can put manure in the back of this. This may go horribly wrong, but let's find out. Yeah, I can't. It just falls through it magically. One of the most common issues with slobs that I've found is it doesn't pick up with the game capture. You get a black screen quite a lot. A lot of people, I have that problem quite a bit, but I've heard about a lot of other people that have also had the problem with having a black screen on for game capture. Now, my workaround for that is I do a window capture and then run games in windowed mode, and it picks that up just fine. That's in my experience. Massey takes payments in Massey Ferguson's. There's worse things to take payment with. Now, see, this one's been a bit weird as well. Got the love going around, guys. That's good to hear. We're up to 18 likes now, guys. That's absolutely awesome. I wasn't expecting to see that. Thanks to everyone who's liked this video. I wasn't expecting that. Josie is... I'm going to be picking up Josie's PC on the 18th. Once she gets her PC, she'll then be technically almost able to stream at that point. There's the behind the scenes stuff that will have to be done, like she'll need to make her channel look all pretty and make some like starting soon screens and making sure that our computer's actually set up properly to stream with like the right software and the right games, and our settings are all right for copyright and all that kind of, you know, behind the scenes stuff. But on the 18th, that's when I'll be going and picking up her PC. So hopefully it'll be. I'm hoping, if Josie's still up for it, then I expect that it would maybe be around the 1st of next month, possibly. I'm good in the background, I can be a cheerleader for you all. I think Josie would make a really good she'd make a really good streamer. She doesn't always play the same games that that I play, for example. It's like I can't actually imagine Josie playing Ark, but Josie likes like puzzle games and things like that. Actually, you don't see much of that on YouTube, so I think that's a little like window she's got there. I think it would be nice to see, and yes, my delightful father has Josie's PC, but I'm getting it back off him. Not sure if he's going to be particularly happy about that, but frankly I don't give a flying monkeys what he thinks, because he's, for lack of better description, a bell end. Yeah, Josie's PC is a bit over the top. I'll just wait until she's not looking one day and just pinch one of our graphics cards. I'm sure she won't mind. Well, the biggest thing to take note of for streaming in your instant scale is to stream PC games, you don't need any extra hardware. You just need software that will capture their game footage and then stream it out. Most capture softwares will do that. Like if you're running an NVIDIA card, there's a video recording software that I use called Shadowplay, and that's where I record all my footage for my pre-recorded videos. When I'm streaming, I just use slobs. It captures the footage and sends it off to the magic of the internet all live. There's no pre-recording on that one. But for Xbox and any other kind of console game, to record that, what you need is a bit of hardware called a capture card. They can be ridiculously expensive. You do get cheap ones, but generally what I've found is the cheap ones aren't worth buying. And, you know, there is that side of things. PC gaming is the easiest thing to stream. What did I do with the water trailer? I've got a frame rate drop here as well. I think I have too many machines on the farm. Where did I dump the water trailer this time? I need to stop leaving things lying around. I actually don't know what I've done with the water trailer. Yeah, I don't have a capture card because I don't do console gaming. I used to, back in the day. Yeah, see, why did I leave the water trailer here? You know, so all my streams are PC games. I find it easier, and I'm just more comfortable with PC gaming nowadays than I am with console gaming. Yeah, I need to test stream one day and get audio figured out. May just simply make gaming videos on Xbox and use my video editor and then post them. That's what we do. That's how I started with YouTube. Farming Simulator 17 Goldcrest Valley was the first video I ever posted. It's shockingly bad. If you are wanting to watch it, it is still on the channel. And it's shockingly bad. There's no thumbnail. It's like a YouTube thumbnail that I used. The aspect ratio is wrong. My audio quality for my microphone is just horrible. The game's far too loud and you can barely hear me. And everything just went horribly wrong, so I learned as I went. But I can certainly, if you're planning on doing pre-recorded, I can certainly help with like audio levels and things like that, because I think I've kind of got them worked out to sort of a reasonable level. And anything that I don't know, I'm pretty sure Massey will know. Massey is a streaming genius. He helped me sort a problem I was having the other day with audio levels. But PC gaming is where I'm at. But the thing to note is, if you're going to pre-record videos, there is a lot more work in pre-recorded footage than there is streaming. Like, for example, I've been streaming for 2 hours now, and I've got 2 hours of footage for that. This is the worst case example from things I've actually done. One of my Oakfield Farm Season 2 videos, it's a 34-minute long video that took me 11 hours to record. For all the background stuff and making it flow nicely, and then that was just the record, and then once I edited it with the time lapses, putting the music into it, the intro, the outro, getting the audio levels right, and fading in, and the effects, it was probably about 14 hours ish worth of work just to get this one 34-minute video done. But the recording software I use Shadowplay for my videos, because it has a really high bitrate. It records in complete lossless bitrate. It's really high quality. For my thumbnails, I capture my thumbnails using Fraps, because my Shadowplay is being weird with thumbnails. It's stretching them. And for video editing, I use a program called AVS Video Software. It's quite lightweight, it's not heavy on resources, it's not the quickest thing in the world, but it has good functionality, good resources, and you're able to edit videos relatively effortlessly with it. For all the software that I've used in the past, I'd say it's definitely my favourite. Alright, we need to set this to pick up bales. Not bales, pallets. We'll take that partial pallet too, because of course we will. This is the most wool we've had in a while. I use Premiere Pro to edit videos. Premiere Pro is a professional grade video editing software. I've known people to use that during movie editing. That is professional grade software. But it's very ridiculously heavy for resources. I mean, I know people who have purpose-built, extremely high-end PCs, specifically built for editing, and they still struggle. This simulator guy, welcome along. How you doing, buddy? Thanks for the compliment there. It's nice to hear that you're enjoying the stream. We're up to 20 likes now, guys. That's awesome sauce. Thanks to everyone who has liked this video so far. Really couldn't do it without you guys. I can send you a link to it, Massey. It's not free though. There is a free version of it, but it's not free. But I will talk to you more about that on Discord. I may have a way around that. It is hard to use, but I have got used to it. It's definitely, Premiere Pro is definitely the best program for doing it. There's no shadow of a doubt. Premiere Pro is pro grade. It's an awesome bit of software, but it's a killer of computers. I mean, there's a channel on YouTube, I don't know if anyone watched it, Linus Tech Tips. He has a computer that he spent, well, he didn't spend, he got sponsors and things like that, but he had a computer that was worth 10,000 Canadian dollars, and it still couldn't run the playback smoothly, and that was with 6 GPUs. I use VSDC and I like it. I've never used that before personally. I've got 2 computers. I live stream on one and edit on the other. My theater redone build was done with VSDC. Awesome stuff. I'll go and check that out, Gil. I have 3 computers. I have, currently in my setup, I have my main gaming rig. It's my big tower, my big fancy pants water cooled tower that sits on my desk. Currently in bits. I haven't even got the power supply actually in the case. It's sitting on the desk next to the case, and there's electrical tape and things that make it look like it shouldn't be working, but it works fine. It's kind of like an example of how not to treat your computer. But I have my big gaming rig, and then to the left of my main monitor I have a really old HP laptop that if you unplug it, it'll turn off. That is what I use mainly for reading the chat and for keeping an eye on restream bitrate and that kind of thing. You know, keeping an eye on the actual stream. And to the right of me, I have another laptop. This is an even older Samsung laptop that, to be honest, is probably only got about a week left in it before it's thrown in the bin because it's absolute garbage nowadays. It does this thing where it clicks all by itself. The graphics are failing on it, the audio is failing on it, the CPU's dying, everything about that thing is just, it's had its life. It's about 10 years old or something. But I use that one for keeping an eye on the stream quality. I see the stream in the same way that you guys see it. Great demand for wood chips. We don't have any wood chips. I could actually work towards getting some wood chips, so we could do it through winter next year. We've got winter on we've got snow on the last day of winter. But guys, that is over the time that I'd usually stream. I've just been too busy rambling on. So if there's anything that anyone wants to ask me about editing software or streaming or anything like that, feel free to head over to my Discord. The link for it is in the description of this stream. And send me a private message. I'll maybe put up a... Can you bro send on Discord your setup? I can do, Jeff. I'll speak to you about that on Discord. I'll set up a channel for anyone who's needing help. You can also, if Massey's still in the chat, you're welcome to stick up your Discord link if you want. And you can head over to Massey's Discord. He's a very good streamer, and he definitely knows what he's on about when it comes to streaming. And audio levels and things like that. He knows more about audio levels and how to set up the more intricate ends of slobs than I do. I know the basics, he knows more than me. But I spent most of my time doing pre-recorded stuff, so I know more about video editing, I think. I've never actually spoken to Massey about this. I'm just, I know quite a bit. I wouldn't say, I don't know if I know more than Massey. But I know quite a bit about video editing. I'm quite competent with video editing. I've made a staircase. I know quite a bit about video editing, so I'm available to help anyone with that as well. And yeah, thanks to everyone who has liked this video. Thanks to our new sneaky subscriber that sneaked in at some point through the stream. Thanks very much, whoever you are. And thanks for everyone coming along and joining them in the chat, sharing your terrible jokes. and your fun stories. But I will be back tomorrow with 2 different streams, one in the daytime, one in the nighttime, and I hope to see you all there, and enjoy the rest of your night, and I will be back tomorrow. But bye for now.